That voice in your head, the one you think is you, it's actually not. It's not the real you. You're not your mind, just like you're not your body. So, what is that voice, then? It's an imposter, a distraction, drawing you into guilt and doubt. When you let that inner noise control you, you're listening to your ego. That's right. That voice. It's your ego. A lower version of yourself. A side of you meant to test the real, authentic you. Think about it. How many times has that inner chatter led you down the wrong path? How often has it filled you with self-doubt, fear, and insecurity? That's not the voice of your true self. That's your ego talking. And it's time to learn how to tell the difference. The ego is like a parasite that feeds off your fears and insecurities. It's that part of you that always craves approval, always comparing itself to others, always worried about what people think. But that's not the real you. Your true self is something far more powerful, more timeless, more profound. The ego is always on guard, trying to protect itself from things it imagines are threats. It lives in fear, but your authentic self, it acts from a place of love. It knows no fear because it understands its connection to something much greater, the infinite. Take a moment. Breathe. There's an ancient saying from the Egyptian sage, Thoth the Atlantean, also known as Tehuti. He said, "Gods are immortal men, and men are mortal gods." He meant that what we call divine is actually just a reflection of our highest potential. And when he says, "Men are mortal gods," he's reminding us that we are divine beings experiencing life in human form. This isn't about worshiping something outside of ourselves. It's about recognizing the divine spark within. The ego's greatest trick. It makes you think you're separate from everything else. It's that voice that says, "It's me against the world," or "I need to look out for number one." But that's just a grand illusion, a cosmic joke that's been played on humanity for centuries. Your true self knows the truth. We are all connected, all parts of the same cosmic dance. Your true self is the part of you that can look into a stranger's eyes and see a reflection of yourself. It's the part that feels the pain of others as if it were your own. It knows deep down that whatever you do to others, you're really doing to yourself. This isn't some new age idea. This is the truth about who you really are, hidden beneath layers of conditioning and false beliefs. It's time to peel back those layers and rediscover your true nature. Think about it like this. Imagine a vast ocean. Your ego sees you as a single drop in that ocean, isolated and insignificant. But your true self knows you are the entire ocean, just experiencing itself as a single drop. Every wave, every current, every life form in that ocean is a part of you. This is what mystics mean when they talk about unity consciousness. The ego is like a broken record, playing the same old tune over and over. It tells you that you're not good enough, not smart enough, not attractive enough. It's the part that's always comparing you to others, always finding you lacking. Think about the last time you made a mistake. How did your ego react? Probably harshly, making you feel small and inadequate. But your authentic self, it views mistakes as part of your growth, as valuable lessons on your journey of self-discovery. The ego, on the other hand, lives in a world of scarcity. It's always worried that there's not enough money, not enough love, not enough time. It's the voice that tells you to hold on to things, to compete, to look out for yourself at the expense of others. But your true nature understands abundance. It knows that the more you give, the more you receive. Love multiplies when it's shared. There is always enough when you're connected to that source within you. If you're ready to step away from your ego and connect with the truth of who you are, let's hear it in the comments. Share your thoughts. This is your journey, and it's time to embrace it fully. The way the ego works is like having a constant commentary track in your head that never stops. It's always judging, comparing, worrying about the future, or regretting the past. It's that voice that tells you, "I'll be happy when I get that promotion," or I'm not good enough because I'm not as successful as my friends. This endless chatter has a purpose, though. It keeps you locked into identifying with it, making you think that you are your thoughts, your feelings, your experiences. But here's the truth. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind those thoughts. Think about it for a moment. When you're lost in thought, who is it that notices your thinking? There's a part of you that observes your thoughts, right? That part, the observer, the one who is aware, that's your true self. It's the side of you that remains steady and unchanging, even as your thoughts and emotions constantly shift. The ego will try to convince you that you need to control your thoughts, to push yourself to always think positively. But that's just another trick. Real power comes from understanding that you are not the thinker. You are the awareness, the space in which thoughts come and go. So, how do you start tuning into your authentic self instead of getting caught up in the ego? It begins with awareness. Start paying attention to that voice in your head. Notice the patterns it follows, the worries, the judgments, the fears. Then ask yourself, is this really my true self talking, or is this just my ego? When you learn to tell the difference between the two, you'll unlock a whole new understanding. You'll start connecting with the wisdom of your true self, the part of you that's linked to the vast intelligence of the universe. Your ego is changeable and easily influenced by what's going on around you. It can go from happy to angry in an instant, depending on the situation. But your true self, it's constant. It's a stable, peaceful core that doesn't get shaken up by what's happening in the world around you. The ego is loud, filling your mind with endless chatter. But your real self speaks through intuition. It's in those quiet moments between thoughts, in the stillness, that you'll start to hear the true voice of your inner self. Here's a practice that can help you connect with this authentic side of yourself. Find a comfortable place to sit with your back straight. Close your eyes and focus on your breathing. As thoughts come up, don't try to push them away or judge them. Just watch them. Notice where they come from and where they go. Ask yourself, who is observing these thoughts? This practice, known as self-inquiry, was taught by the Indian sage Ramana Maharshi, and it's a way to get closer to understanding who you are beyond your thoughts and feelings. With practice, you'll start to have moments of quiet and clarity. These are glimpses into your true nature, but don't stop there. Bring this awareness into your daily life. When you eat, really taste the food. When you walk, pay attention to each step. When you talk to someone, really listen to them. This presence, this full engagement in each moment, is part of living as your true self. Remember, waking up to your true nature is a journey, not a finish line. It's not about totally silencing the ego. That's not really possible or even necessary. The goal is to find a balance where the ego becomes a tool that you, your true self, can use instead of the other way around. As you start living more from this authentic place, you'll see big changes in yourself. You'll feel a sense of peace that isn't tied to what's going on around you. You'll find a well of creativity and intuition inside yourself that you didn't even know was there. You'll naturally feel drawn to actions that benefit not only yourself, but everyone around you. You'll start to see the divine in everything and everyone. Whether it's a stranger on the street, a tree in your backyard, or even someone who cuts you off in traffic, you'll recognize that they are all connected to the same universal energy that you are. This shift in perspective isn't just some nice idea. It changes the way you experience life on a deep level. When you truly understand that you're not separate from the universe, but that you are the universe, expressing itself in your unique form, everything changes. Fear starts to lose its power over you. What is there to be afraid of when you know you're one with the infinite? You'll start to approach challenges not as problems to overcome, but as chances to grow and expand. Your relationships will change too. When you see others as parts of yourself, understanding and compassion come naturally. You become less reactive, less likely to take things personally, and more connected to the world around you in a way that's grounded and true. When you begin to live from your true self, your ability to love changes. It becomes deeper, more genuine, and more unconditional. You stop loving people just because they give you something in return, or because you expect something from them. You start loving simply because it feels right. This kind of love isn't about conditions or expectations. It's a love that comes from within, and it doesn't need anything to exist. It's there because you are connected to your true self, and that part of you knows that everyone else is part of you too. And when it comes to work, something incredible happens. Work no longer feels like a grind or something you have to get through just to earn a paycheck or to be recognized. Instead, it starts to feel meaningful. You're no longer just showing up to clock hours. You're showing up because your work is now an expression of who you are. You want to share your unique skills and talents because it's not about you anymore. It's about something bigger. Imagine waking up every day, feeling a sense of purpose that goes beyond just getting things done. When you're connected to your true self, you'll find yourself doing work that feels like it truly matters. You'll feel like you're making a difference, even in small ways, and that feeling brings a sense of joy and fulfillment that you didn't even know was possible. You'll begin to see that every little action you take is part of something much larger. You're not just working for yourself, you're contributing to the world in a way that's meaningful. This shift doesn't happen overnight, but once you start experiencing it, there's no going back.